Hey guys, welcome back to another one of Shrine of the Pine. Okay, I'm going to.
I know everything on that.
So I did
What order they give it? So, but I can
number
give a
one.
tour to you and probably get a lot more information, a lot more.
I had just gotten into the chandelier.
The chandelier right above you, the chandelier is basically just dangling from that piece of wood up there, from its initial root. The chandelier here is put up by 4 wooden pegs.
The log building, which was built specifically as a museum, was begun with and completed and opened to the public in 1941. His vision of the creative and inventive Mr. Raymond Bud Overholzer.
A lot of it was decayed, so 123 inmates had to go into this table. But the reason why he always won is because he always sat right here. And this is why, because he kept his aces right here in this drawer. They knew about that drawer, it just looks like a roof. There's no other drawer anywhere else, that's the only drawer. That's how he won. I don't know, did it tell you about this?
I haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh, I can tell you about it. Let me tell you guys about it. I love telling everybody about it. This is right here. He was a pipe smoker. He liked to smoke out of them long pipes. And he liked his tobacco to be nice and moist. This right here was his pipe and tobacco holder. It kept his tobacco nice and moist for him. One of his last pieces that he made before he had a heart attack, actually right here in the center of this room, before he passed away, this was his last piece. He wasn't able to finish it. And the reason you can see it, it's real rough. It's a lot rougher than a lot of his other pieces. And what he called this was his medicine cabinet. And this is where his wife kept his medicine when he first initially got sick.
Isn't that cool?
Pretty sweet.
Is there glass in that window?
Actually, there is glass in this window. I don't know if you guys heard about the window, but when they first started building this in 1940 and finished in 1941, he had 3 fellas that helped him build this shrine right here. And this window right here came from Belgium because one of the fellas was from Belgium, and the fellow wanted to put a little piece of his heart in here, and that's what he did, was give him that window. If you look over there to the left of you, the left of you, you see that big window over there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Baldwin, but in 1940 there was a fire in Baldwin, Michigan, which is a 1.5 miles north. The city is right up there. The only store that was there was the Baldwin grocery store, and that burnt down, and the only thing they were able to salvage out of it was this window. When you guys do walk to the water on the deck, if you guys look back at it, at a certain spot, you can see the word grocery and delivery in the glass still to this day. If you guys as a family want to sit on the love seat, I can take a picture of you guys all together with somebody's cell phone.
Yeah.
And let me put the
Here,
rope
hold my
down
hand.
so they strip,
Yeah.
it's an awful fall in the mouth. I don't know what else is, you haven't heard, okay, so the top of the building, he put dark wood, and the reason why that was because the wood was stronger up there, that was gonna get hit by the wind.
Emily's
But
gonna
it
send
would
it to
make
me.
dark in here. So what he did, if you look real close, there's trees up there, that he sanded all the dark off, but left pine trees on the wood to make some kind of decoration in it.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Mr. Overholzer, he married his 3rd grade teacher. She was 24 years older than him. That's Mrs. Overholzer right there by her rocking chair. And that story behind the rocking chair is that Mrs. Overholzer said to Mr. Overholzer, he said, I need me a chair that no other woman will sit in. And he said, well, how am I going to do that? And he says, well, the only way I can do that is if I put a little tiny mouse. Mrs. Overholzer says, put the mouse. I'm not scared of the mouse. Ever since the mouse has been sitting on that floor over there, no other woman has sat in that chair. When he first brought this chair out and said to his wife, I'm going to make you this chair, he started making it. He couldn't figure out how to make it rock. So what happened was, he told his wife, throw that darn thing in the fire. And so Mrs. Overholzer said, no, I need me a chair that nobody else sits in. No other woman sits in. And so she put it in the closet. A year later, she brought it out and she said, look, you've matured a little bit, you've made other pieces, please fix my chair and make it rock. And he did, by golly gee, he fixed it, and he made it, one push, it rocked 55 times by itself. To this day, it rocks about 12. With one push.
You're saying that one over there?
Yes, and that chair is the only furniture that they used in their house, which was 1.5 miles north, and they lived in a small little framed house, as we would call maybe today a kit house.
Okay.
But that burnt down, and the reason how that burnt down was electric fire. And what happened is electricity hit it, and when that happened, the reason why you see the word rest up there, he initially wanted this to be Hunter's Rest, and it would lodge for the hunters, and that's why that piece right there was made, is for the 12 hunters, and that's why there's 12 beds for the hunters. But when that burnt up, the only art that was in that building was the word hunters. And so that's why it became Shrine of the Pines, because, then it wasn't a hunter's thing. It took them 4 years to find the letter R, and then the letter S, it took them 7 years to find the letter S.
Right there, okay? So close. Just
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah. All the candle, Mr. Henry Ford, this table right here offered Mr. Overhauser $50,000 back then when he first made it. And Mr. Overhauser said, no, I like my table, and did not get rid of it. How he made the beds, just a little information about it, is for the springs, he rolled deer hide. For the blankets, he put deer fur in them. For the pillows, and he put goose feathers. When he first came here, he was a taxidermist. If you look around, there's a lot of taxidermy work around. That's what he loved to do. And he didn't really realize he was an art, or like the art of the wood. That piece where the blue heron is, that was his very first piece up there. That's what inspired him to do everything in this museum, what the bird is on. When he first moved here in 1920 with his wife and his mother and him, 9 months out of the year he was a fisher and a hunter's guide. 3 months out of the year he did his art. He died in 1952 at 62 years old.
Yeah, I've been here a couple times, they've never been here.
Yeah, oh, okay.
The first time it was just like, oh, what a Shrine of the Pine, you know what I mean?
Right,
As
right.
you're driving by,
Yeah.
and then you get in here, it's like, what?
These two beds right here that you guys are looking at, Mr. Overhauser, what he did for the hunters is the hunters always brought extra stuff, and their guns were pretty long and just stuff like that. What he did is he made this little hollowed out, because this bed and that bed's made out of one log. And it's hollowed out for them to put their extra blankets and pillowcases, guns, liquor, whatever the hunter brings. Real nice piece. He didn't like electricity, even though he lived with it. When he passed away and had a heart attack, his wife moved over to the widow's cabin, which was their storage unit, and lived with no running water and no electricity. The little building outside of that was her bathroom. Even though there was electricity right here, she still wanted to live that way before she passed.
Yeah, whatever you want to look at on there.
If you look up at the fireplace and the wood fixture on the fire mantle on the uncut rock, there's a root formation. You can find every single one of the letters in the alphabet in that. The log that's on the mantle, that's the mantle of it, that's one log, one piece. The reason why he made these chairs like this is because their cheeks would get hot from the fire. And so he made the chairs like that. And the reason why they're hollowed underneath is for the animals to go under and curl up and be warm as well. The love seat right here, you want to take a picture real fast?
No, he doesn't want to.
Oh, he doesn't want to, okay. Well, let me put this rope up, little man. But, yeah, that's some good information about that. The little windows that you see in here was from their framed house. There was the mirrors in their house. What they did is they just took the mirrors off, and that's the little windows.